Everything you need to know if you're considering staying at the Residence Inn Seattle South Tukwila Hotel. In this video, I'm going to show you the common areas of the hotel, the neighborhood around the hotel, and the inside of one of the rooms. This room, a 2-bedroom loft suite. And then I'll tell you the pros and the cons, whether you should consider staying here on your trip to Seattle or not. This hotel is located in the city of Tukwila, Washington, which is just about 4 miles east of Seattle's SEATAC airport. The particular neighborhood around the hotel doesn't have all that much within walking distance. There's a few other kind of lower end hotels, a Courtyard and Embassy Suites. There's a few fast food restaurants. Right next to the hotel is kind of a low end strip mall and a 24-hour 7-Eleven, which can be a pro or a con. The hotel is located kind of right along a stream or a river, so some of the rooms actually have kind of a neat view of this river, and you can walk along the trail from here about 15 minutes to Westfield South Center, one of the biggest shopping malls in the area. If you're trying to get into downtown Seattle proper from here, from the hotel is a 10-minute walk to the Seattle Sounder Station, and you can get in on that rail 24 minutes into downtown Seattle for just a little over $3. Now, the hotel itself is one of Residence Inn's classic hotels, and by that I mean it's old, and by that I also mean it follows the model that Residence Inn started with, which was sort of these apartment condo-like constructions. There are about 20 of these buildings that each has 8 rooms in it, 4 on the ground floor and 4 on the top floor. The entrances to all of the rooms are outside, and so there's not really a indoor part of the hotel per se. The lobby is in the front building right off the main road. Here's where you'll check in. There's a little shop, and there's also the complimentary Residence Inn breakfast in the mornings served here. Just on the back side of the lobby building is the hotel's fitness center. It was pretty lame. It had 2 machines in it. In the center of the property is a swimming pool that oddly in August was closed, and right next to that, a basketball court. All of the parking here is self-parking right behind the strip mall I talked about earlier. Now that we've seen everything around the hotel, let's check out the inside of one of the rooms. This is room 824, a 2-bedroom loft up on the 2nd and 3rd floors of the hotel. The first thing as you come in to the left of the front door is the kitchen. All the rooms in this hotel have big kitchens with full refrigerators, dishwashers, plates, pots, pans, utensils in here if you need to eat, if you need to cook. So you are well taken care of here if you like to cook things. Toaster, microwave, full oven, including a stove. So you don't have to eat out if you stay here and you're here for a long time. There's a little living room here by the front door. This one's got a sofa, some chairs, flat panel television in the corner, and even a fireplace right here with a mirror right above it. Now, this is the first of 2 bedrooms in this room. This room has 2 king bedrooms right here, and you can see looking out the window. The view's not super fabulous. It's kind of the backside of a strip mall parking lot with the view of the Chevron off in the distance. As we go over here, you'll see there's a little desk in the corner, and then the first of 2 bathrooms is right here. There's a sink, a toilet, and a bathtub with a fixed head. And the soaps and shampoos are these common North 39 degrees soaps and shampoos. Really wish those were individual bottles, but alas, Marriott is really going away from those. All right, so now we can go ahead and head up to the 2nd floor. There's the staircase right here that'll bring us up to the loft. Closet, bathroom to the left. We'll start with the right, the bedroom portion. So you can see this is the 2nd bedroom, and it's a loft because it's actually like open to the downstairs living room down there. But up here, there's a king-size bed, another desk, nightstand, view outside this window, a little higher than what we saw before, but pretty similar of the strip mall parking lot. Back into the room, TV there. Hey, looking down into the living room, you can see there's a fan right there to keep it cool. It is a little warmer up here because I feel like hot air rises. This bathroom is a bit of an open bathroom, just opens to this loft for the sink area, and then the toilet and the bathtub is closed off with the same common soaps up here as well. Now, if you watch my hotel reviews regularly, you'll know it's time for the TOEFL review, where I rate every hotel on a scale of 1 to 5 TOEFLs, and then I'll share my pros and cons and give you my final assessment of to whether you should stay at this hotel. So first, how many TOEFLs does this hotel get? It's going to get 2.5 TOEFLs, which is not a great rating, and that doesn't mean that this hotel isn't for anybody. It's just not really for me. I'll talk through why it isn't, and then I'll talk through maybe who this hotel might be for. So first I'll talk about the pros. Pros of this hotel: the rooms are big. They're big, particularly this 2-bedroom bi-level loft. Now, I booked a 1-bedroom suite for $150 a night, which is a pretty good rate in the Seattle area. And then I was upgraded to this room, 1, because of my status, but 2, because this was the 3rd room they put me in because I had requested a 2nd floor room. At first, when I got the room key, I asked, is this a 2nd floor room? And he's like, no, it's a 1st floor room. I'm like, oh, I requested an upper floor room. Can you get me one? And then the guy at the front desk makes me a key and gives it to me, and I get there, and it's a 1st floor room. And so that's why I got this big room for $150. Now, I think the pros of who might really enjoy staying here is somebody who is almost looking for an apartment replacement in between apartments, between houses. You're having your house termited, something like that. You need a lot of space. You need to cook. This is going to be great. You're not planning to do a lot of touristy things in Seattle. You're not planning to go very many places. So I think that's who this could be for. Actually, one of the people checking out the front desk checked out a day early because he said his apartment was ready. If you need to stay here a long time, I think this is a great hotel for that too. Other pros: the room was clean, and when I was in it, the room generally felt good because it was so big. I had it all to myself, and I slept reasonably well in this room. And while the location kind of doesn't have anything right near it, it is close to that Seattle Sounder station that you can get into downtown Seattle in just 24 minutes for pretty cheap from there. And being next to Seattle's big Westfield South Center shopping mall is pretty nice too. And the final pro, having that 7-Eleven right next door, was pretty convenient to get drinks and snacks anytime I wanted because it was open 24 hours. But that brings us to the cons. You know, the proximity to a 24-hour 7-Eleven is maybe not a great thing. It brings a number of unsavory elements to the hotel, to the hotel's parking lot. There just seemed to be a lot of people hanging out in front of that 7-Eleven, hanging out in the hotel's parking lot that didn't look like they were really staying at the hotel, just kind of sitting on the floor in front of 7-Eleven. So really the outside parking lot of the area of this hotel felt pretty shady come nightfall. And so I don't think I'd really want to be getting back to my room all that late staying in this hotel, particularly because the entrances to all of the rooms are exterior entrances, and the kind of interior of the hotel can feel a little bit creepy. Now, while the room itself seems pretty recently renovated, the outside of the hotel definitely wasn't. There's a lot of really deferred maintenance in this building. Just the exterior door to the room, really unappealing. Paint chips, the welcome mats look super run down. In the room, there's like exposed cabling, weird wooden blocks underneath furniture. Just overall, this hotel doesn't seem really well maintained or really that all well loved. Breakfast time was also kind of bizarre. They advertised a 6 a.m. start time for breakfast. I got there at 6:10 a.m., 10 minutes after start time, and there was still no hot food out. I don't know what the deal there is, if that's a weird COVID thing, but also there was no daily housekeeping provided in the rooms, which is something that I expect from a hotel. I get it's COVID time, but come on, let's get back with the program already. The hotel's proximity to a busy highway means the rooms that are kind of right at the front of the hotel by the lobby can be pretty noisy from road noise. Many of the rooms face the parking lot, which can be noisy at night. And finally, you do hear the planes coming into Seattle SEATAC Airport as well, but those stop around 10 or 11 p.m. at night. So now the real question is, would I stay here again, or should you consider staying here? And I will say I will not stay here again. If I need to stay in this neighborhood of Tukwila, I'd probably check out the Embassy Suites or maybe even the Courtyard right across the street before I stayed here, mostly because I walked around those hotels too, and they didn't have quite the same unsavory element that was collecting around this hotel and in this hotel's parking lot, again, just due to that proximity, I think, to the 24-hour 7-Eleven. But the real question of should you stay here, I can only say maybe. I mean, maybe if the price is right, maybe if you're just gonna mostly be in your room, maybe if you're coming back in the day, maybe if you don't care about the unsavory element outside, then maybe you should consider it. But if you're planning to travel to Seattle to be a tourist, I'd probably stay a little closer to the city or at the Embassy Suites that's even closer to the train station. But if you are coming to Seattle, you'll definitely want to check out my video about everything you need to know coming to Seattle. You'll find a link to it right here on the screen or in the description below. And as usual, I won't say goodbye because I'm going to see you over there.